So the first part that we're going to focus on now are the cleansing mechanisms, or the Shatkriyas. Shat meaning 6 and Kriyas meaning actions, and in this context it means cleaning actions. And these are Doti, cleaning of the stomach; Basti, cleaning of the colon; Noli, cleaning of the internal organs and massaging the organs; and Trataka, gazing at a candle or at a fixed object in order to clean and focus the mind. The last two are going to be the main focus of this course though, which is Neti and Kapalabhati. First of all, we're going to start with Neti. Neti is divided in Sutra Neti and Jala Neti. In Sutra Neti, we insert a rubber band through the nose and out the mouth and then clean our nasal passages in this motion. This is very uncomfortable and also hard to learn, so the more accessible Neti is the Jala Neti, which uses a neti pot, or a device that holds lukewarm salt water and is inserted into one nostril like this, and it flows in and then flows out the other nostril, and then this is repeated on the other side. We do this in order to clean the nasal passage, and when you do this at some point, you will see how much stuff we're storing in our nasal passage that is not supposed to be there. And it's ever since I picked this habit up of doing it on a daily basis, or almost daily basis, I not only am able to breathe a lot better, which is one of the main purposes of Jalaneti, to prepare for pranayama, because then we're able to breathe properly through both nostrils, but I also experienced a reduced symptoms of allergies. So ever since I started doing it, all the stuff that's stored in there that comes from the outside, the pathogens that cause allergies within us, are then also frequently washed out. So it really helped with my seasonal allergies, which are now non-existent anymore, but also with my cat and dog hair allergy. When I practice this regularly, I don't have any symptoms anymore. So this is something that I really urge you now to pick up. Those neti pots are really not expensive. And it's very easy to do, and you can just practice it on a daily or almost daily basis to reap the most benefits. And when you have such a device, you fill it with lukewarm water about the temperature of the body, so 36, 37 degrees, and then you put a little bit of natural salt in there, just the amount that it needs, that it tastes like tears. I hope you don't have to compare, but that you know about the taste of tears. And this is so the osmotic pressure is right, and so it can flow freely through our nostrils. And once you have picked this practice up, you will probably realize that you will be able to breathe a lot better and are not relying at all on mouth breathing anymore. The benefits and the importance of mouth breathing are also going to be discussed in the later parts of this course. The next is Kapalabhati. Kapalabhati is not only a Kriya, a cleaning exercise, but also a Pranayama. So this is why we're not going to cover it in this step, but in the next step. So in this step, I just want to briefly explain what it is and what it does. Kapalabhati is a rapid exhalation and a smooth and passive inhalation. And the active exhalation happens by actively pulling the belly button towards the spine on the exhalation, so it's a sound, and the passive inhalation follows afterwards, where just the stomach very gently releases again, and then it's an active again. So it's this active exhalation, passive inhalation. And we do this in order to really clean the nasal passages as well. Because when you start practicing it, especially when you've done some Jalaneti before, you will realize or notice that some water still comes out of your nose, or maybe even some snot. So it's always good to have a tissue next to you when practicing Kapalabhati. Kapalabhati is also called the skull shining breath, because it's also a mental cleaning exercise that gives you very mental clarity. So Kriya and Pranayama at the same time. More details about this Kriya will follow in the next step. So here a little demonstration video of how the neti pot looks like. and how it works. So I already prepared my neti pot here. I filled it with lukewarm water and a little bit of salt. For me, it's always about 1/3 of a teaspoon of salt, depending on the size of your neti pot. And yeah, so it's important that the water is lukewarm and that it's just the right amount of salt, so it tastes a bit like tears. And you will feel, if you don't have this right, it will hurt a bit in your nose. It will get this tension feeling. If it's too cold, it will not feel nice. If it's too warm, it's not going to feel nice. So you will get the right temperature. It's the temperature you can basically, if you put your finger into the water and you don't really feel it, then it's about the temperature of your body. If you feel it's cold or it's warm, it's either too cold or too warm. So what you do, there's this little hole at the top, and this is the part that you will put in your nose. I'm going to hold this under so I'm not going to wet myself. And you put this inside, and then you tilt your head, and then it's going to flow out the other nostril. Yeah, it doesn't work so well here, but this is usually how it should work. I'm going to try the other side. Well, I'm dripping all over here. You put it at the nose and then you tilt over, and then you see it flows out. And yeah, there's a lot of water and stuff coming out. And this is why it's so important to do this. So you get everything that's in your sinuses, you can get it out and get a proper access to the both nostrils so you can properly breathe. All right, so now you know how it works, and now you're good to go. Get yourself a neti pot and do this every morning.